4 habits that steal the lifespan of most seniors. Staying up late is only ranked 3rd. It's a profound truth that the way we live our lives, particularly in our later years, significantly influences not just how long we endure, but the vibrancy and quality of those years. Many of us, as we age, find ourselves attributing common ailments like fatigue, disrupted sleep patterns, or a perceived weakening of our cardiovascular system solely to the inexorable march of time. However, the reality is far more nuanced and, importantly, more empowering. Our daily choices, often seemingly insignificant, play a far more dominant role than we typically acknowledge. The subtle shifts in when we choose to sleep, what we consume, how we frame our thoughts, and how we engage with our physical selves collectively sculpt the tapestry of our longevity. This exploration delves into 4 common habits that, unbeknownst to millions, are quietly and systematically diminishing the lifespans of many individuals past the age of 60. Each of these habits might appear innocuous in isolation, but when they coalesce, they create a potent cocktail that gradually erodes our strength, dulls our vitality, and accelerates the aging process of our most vital organs, including the heart and brain, and compromises our immune defenses. You won't want to miss the final habit, or 99% will miss the last tip and will be stuck with this topic for life. Understanding these 4 pervasive patterns offers a critical roadmap not merely to extending our years, but to enriching them with clarity, sustained energy, and a profound sense of agency over our own physical and mental well-being. Let us embark on this journey of discovery. The first habit that silently erodes lifespan is the practice of skipping breakfast or delaying this crucial morning meal. A substantial number of older adults make the conscious choice to forego breakfast or to postpone it considerably after waking, often under the misguided belief that it aids in digestive lightness, assists with weight management, or simply provides a more convenient start to a busy day. However, the contrary is true. This regularity of delaying or skipping the first meal throws the body's delicate metabolic and cardiovascular systems into a state of disarray. Upon waking, the body has endured a period of fasting, typically between 6 to 8 hours, during which time blood sugar levels naturally decline, muscles deplete their energy reserves, and the brain signals a need for vital glucose and oxygen to function optimally. When these fundamental signals are ignored, the body's response is to trigger the release of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones, designed for immediate survival, initiate a cascade effect that elevates blood pressure and heart rate, compelling the heart to work under undue strain during a period when it should be gently preparing for the day's activities. For individuals whose arteries may have already experienced some wear and tear due to age, or whose hearts are not as robust as they once were, this early morning surge of stress hormones can incrementally diminish their physical endurance and significantly heighten the risk of serious cardiovascular events like strokes and heart attacks. Scientific inquiry consistently reveals a correlation. Those who habitually skip breakfast are considerably more susceptible to developing insulin resistance and chronic inflammation, 2 insidious internal forces that act as silent accelerators of the aging process. Beyond the immediate physiological impact, there lies another subtle yet impactful consequence of this morning fasting. Skipping breakfast often creates a compensatory urge to overindulge later in the day. The initial deprivation leads to cravings for more substantial, often saltier or sweeter, foods as the afternoon progresses. This sudden influx of calories disrupts the body's finely tuned insulin response, leading to volatile spikes and subsequent crashes in blood sugar levels throughout the day. Over an extended period, these dramatic fluctuations can exhaust the pancreas, place an excessive burden on the liver, and markedly increase the predisposition to developing type 2 diabetes, a condition that can silently subtract years from one's life expectancy. Consider the experience of Arthur, a gentleman in his late 60s who used to proudly proclaim his 30-year streak of never having eaten breakfast, subsisting solely on coffee. His routine was abruptly interrupted when he began experiencing mid-morning dizziness. his physician's investigations revealed alarmingly unstable blood sugar levels, a direct consequence of his body operating in a perpetual stress loop every morning for decades. Upon implementing a modest breakfast, a simple combination of oatmeal, fruit, and a boiled egg, Arthur witnessed a stabilization of his energy levels, a notable improvement in his mood, and a decrease in his blood pressure. A nutritious breakfast need not be elaborate. The key lies in achieving balance. A well-rounded meal, incorporating protein, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats is instrumental in regulating metabolism, fortifying the heart, and safeguarding against cognitive decline. Even seemingly simple options like a bowl of oats adorned with nuts or whole grain toast, topped with avocado, can effectively stabilize blood sugar for hours, thereby shielding the heart from that initial morning strain. Think of breakfast as a critical signal to your body, an assurance that it is safe to commence the day's operations. It serves to reset your internal biological clock, support healthy digestive processes, and prime your system for consistent, sustained energy. Conversely, abstaining from breakfast sends a signal for the body to conserve energy and store fat, achieving precisely the opposite of what most individuals seeking to maintain vitality in their senior years desire. The length of our lives is not merely a tally of years, but a testament to how we nurture our bodies on a daily basis. Therefore, before you reach for that solitary cup of black coffee, pause to remember that your first meal of the day profoundly influences not only the remainder of your waking hours, but potentially the trajectory of your entire life. The second habit that silently erodes a senior's lifespan, often more insidiously than high cholesterol or a lack of physical activity, is the pervasive presence of chronic stress and unresolved emotional tension. Many individuals mistakenly believe that emotional strain is primarily a burden for younger adults, preoccupied with the demands of careers and family. However, extensive research indicates that for older individuals, chronic stress exerts a far more detrimental impact. It insidiously weakens the immune system, exacerbates inflammation throughout the body, and inflicts damage upon the very organs essential for sustaining life. When one lives with persistent daily tension, whether it stems from anxieties about loved ones, financial concerns, or health worries, the body's stress hormone production, particularly cortisol, remains elevated around the clock. These chemical mediators maintain an elevated heart rate, persistently high blood pressure, and a shallow, unrefreshing quality to sleep. Over months and years, this internal pressure gradually erodes the body's capacity for resilience. It is akin to leaving a light bulb illuminated continuously for decades. It does not abruptly extinguish, but rather dims incrementally until its eventual failure. Older adults frequently underestimate the profound impact of their emotional state on their physical health. Many hail from generations that were taught to suppress emotions, to conceal sadness or frustration. Yet, this stoic reticence can come at a considerable cost. The heart and the brain are intimately interconnected, and what the brain experiences, the body inevitably reflects. Prolonged periods of anxiety can precipitate irregular heart rhythms, digestive disturbances, and a decline in memory function. Furthermore, given that many seniors experience life alone, stress can amplify feelings of loneliness, creating a dangerously potent combination that can shorten lifespan as surely as well-known risk factors like smoking or obesity. Consider the case of Helen, a widow in her mid-70s who always presented an image of calm and composure. She espoused the philosophy of not complaining, yet behind her placid exterior lay a deep well of constant worry regarding her health and financial security. Over time, her blood pressure steadily climbed, defying the efforts of medication. Her physician eventually informed her that her body was locked in a perpetual state of fight or flight. It was only after she began incorporating practices such as slow, deliberate breathing exercises, spending time immersed in nature, and engaging in open conversations with trusted friends that her physiological markers improved and her vitality began to return. Stress does not merely impact the heart, it fundamentally rewires the brain. Elevated cortisol levels have been shown to cause shrinkage in the hippocampus, the critical brain region responsible for memory formation and learning. This neurobiological effect is a significant factor contributing to the accelerated cognitive decline observed in individuals experiencing chronic worry, rendering the brain less adaptable, less capable of navigating change, and more susceptible to confusion and fatigue. The underlying tragedy is that many seniors resign themselves to the notion that stress is an unavoidable component of aging, lamenting, "That's just how it is." However, this is not an immutable truth. The human body was never designed to bear the perpetual weight of unremitted emotional burdens. While it may not always be possible to eliminate the sources of stress, it is invariably possible to alter one's response to them. Simple daily habits, such as practicing deep breathing exercises before retiring for the night, engaging in gentle stretching routines, or taking slow, mindful walks in the morning sunlight, can effectively signal the nervous system to enter a state of relaxation. Engaging in meaningful conversations, participating in community groups, or dedicating time to volunteer work can rekindle feelings of connection and purpose. Even practices like prayer or mindfulness meditation can contribute to lowering blood pressure and restoring a sense of internal balance. There is another crucial, often overlooked aspect. Unresolved emotions have the power to age the body far more rapidly than the passage of time itself. Anger, guilt, or regret, when trapped within, act as internal toxins circulating ceaselessly. The act of releasing these emotions, whether through open communication, forgiveness, or honest self-reflection, is not an indication of weakness, but a potent form of self-administered medicine. If you find yourself carrying stress as a constant companion, remember this: you have already navigated challenges far greater than your current worries will ever warrant. The years that lie ahead deserve peace, not perpetual pressure. Grant yourself the permission to embrace rest, not solely in the physical sense, but emotionally as well. This profound sense of peace may well contribute more years to your life than any restrictive diet or pharmaceutical intervention could. If you are still engaged with this video and finding these insights genuinely valuable, please signify your presence by commenting the number 2 below. This helps us understand who is benefiting from our content. And if you have yet to subscribe, I strongly encourage you to do so and to activate the notification bell so you are promptly alerted to all our future video releases. Your support is instrumental in enabling us to continue producing informative and inspiring content for you. Now, let us proceed to the next critical habit. The third habit that quietly undermines longevity is the pervasive tendency to stay up late, thereby disrupting the body's intrinsic natural rhythm. Few daily practices inflict as consistent and subtle damage on our lifespan as the habit of delaying sleep. Many older adults significantly underestimate the profound impact this has on their body's internal clock, often rationalizing it with statements like, "I'm retired now, I can sleep whenever I please." However, the biological reality is that our organs do not cease their meticulously regulated functions simply because our daily routines change. They continue to adhere to a precise rhythm, a cycle finely tuned by millennia of exposure to daylight and darkness. When one remains awake well into the night, particularly past midnight, this interferes with a fundamental biological cycle that governs everything from hormone production to cardiovascular function. The human body engages in its most efficient self-repair processes during the deep stages of sleep, typically occurring between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is a critical window during which the liver detoxifies the body, the immune system rebuilds its defenses, and the brain consolidates memories and processes information from the day. When you are awake during this vital period, your body forfeits its essential nightly repair cycle, much like neglecting the essential maintenance that keeps a complex engine running smoothly. Many seniors who habitually stay up late are unaware that their persistent fatigue, digestive issues, or mental fogginess are not necessarily direct manifestations of aging, but rather consequences of a disrupted circadian rhythm. The body thrives on predictability and consistency. When bedtime fluctuates dramatically, or when sleep is consistently delayed by the allure of television, the glow of digital screens, or the persistence of restless thoughts, the nervous system remains in an alert state far beyond the point when it should be winding down for rest. The inevitable outcome is an elevation in nighttime blood pressure, a potential for irregular heartbeats, and an increase in inflammatory responses that accelerate the aging process at the cellular level. Allow me to share the story of Robert, a 70-year-old man who prided himself on his nocturnal habits, consistently staying awake past 1 a.m., engaged with news programs and emails. Over time, he began experiencing mornings characterized by grogginess, a racing heart, and a generally sour disposition. His physician's diagnostic tests revealed elevated cortisol levels even upon waking, a clear indication that his body's stress hormone production was not appropriately shutting down for rest. Once Robert began consciously adhering to a bedtime of 10:30 p.m. and dimming his lights an hour prior, his blood pressure normalized, and his overall energy levels saw a significant resurgence. There is a lesser acknowledged danger associated with staying up late. It fundamentally alters how your body metabolizes food. Late-night snacks, even those perceived as small, are more readily stored as body fat because insulin sensitivity experiences a sharp decline after sunset. This metabolic shift contributes to elevated blood sugar and cholesterol levels, quietly escalating the risk of heart disease. Many individuals who believe they have a naturally slow metabolism are, in fact, inadvertently battling the consequences of an inconsistent sleep schedule. To effectively restore your body's natural rhythm, it is imperative to establish a consistent wind-down routine each evening. Aim to turn off all electronic screens at least an hour before you intend to sleep. Engage in calming activities such as reading a gentle book or listening to soothing music. Ensure your bedroom environment is conducive to sleep. Dim lighting, a cool temperature, and a quiet atmosphere are paramount. It is also advisable to avoid caffeine and alcohol in the hours leading up to bedtime, as these substances can paradoxically stimulate your brain and prevent it from entering the restful state it requires. By embracing an early bedtime and a consistent wake-up time, you align your heart, brain, and hormonal systems with nature's inherent rhythm. The cumulative effect is remarkable. You will likely experience improved digestion, enhanced mental clarity, and a greater sense of emotional equilibrium. It is a common sentiment to say, "I will sleep when I am tired." However, by the time that feeling of tiredness manifests, your body has likely been signaling its need for rest for a considerable period. As we advance in age, our capacity to disregard these signals diminishes significantly. Every extra hour spent awake beyond your natural bedtime is, in essence, borrowing from the vitality of your future days, and inevitably, that debt must be repaid. If your aspiration is to live a longer, healthier life, then safeguard your sleep as if it were a sacred resource, because in reality, it is. It is not time that is wasted, but rather the fundamental foundation upon which every subsequent healthy and enduring year is built. The fourth and perhaps most unexpectedly detrimental habit that demonstrably shortens life expectancy after the age of 60 is not smoking, an unhealthy diet, or even a general lack of physical activity. It is, in fact, social isolation. For the body, loneliness is not merely an emotional state of sadness. It is a profound form of chronic stress that acts as a slow-acting poison. Scientific studies have equated the physical toll of prolonged social isolation to the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes per day. It silently inflicts damage upon the heart, critically weakens the immune system, and accelerates the cognitive and physical decline associated with aging. Many older adults significantly underestimate the vital importance of human connection for their very survival. When engagement with others dwindles, when conversations become infrequent, laughter fades, and the hours spent in silence begin to outweigh those spent in speech. The brain stimulation levels drop precipitously. The emotional circuits that are crucial for maintaining motivation and curiosity begin to enter a dormant state. Over an extended period, this lack of mental and emotional engagement can lead to pervasive apathy, depression, and a significantly diminished immune response. The body, in an attempt to cope with this perceived absence of social contact, can interpret it as a dangerous environmental condition, triggering the release of cortisol and inflammatory chemicals typically associated with immediate survival threats. I recall encountering a gentleman named Frank, an 82-year-old man who confessed that he hadn't engaged in a meaningful conversation with another person for 3 consecutive days. He remarked, "It's peculiar how the world seems to grow quiet when you get older." While Frank was not suffering from any acute illness, he exhibited a profound exhaustion that no amount of sleep could alleviate. His blood pressure was elevated, his appetite diminished, and he displayed a marked lack of interest in activities that had once brought him joy. His physician later explained that the pervasive social isolation was a significant driver of his body's constant state of stress, placing an undue burden on his heart simply to maintain basic bodily functions. The undeniable truth is that conversation itself acts as a form of medicine. The act of sharing stories, actively listening to another, or even exchanging a few pleasantries with a neighbor serves to keep the brain alert and the heart functioning in a more balanced manner. It serves as a crucial reminder to the body that it remains an integral part of a larger, interconnected community. Individuals in their senior years who actively maintain regular contact with friends or participate in community activities exhibit significantly lower rates of dementia, fewer instances of heart disease, and demonstrably longer lifespans. However, cultivating and sustaining connection often requires a conscious effort and a degree of courage. Many older adults tend to withdraw due to ingrained pride or a fear of being perceived as a burden, thinking, "People are so busy," or "I don't want to bother anyone." Yet what they fail to recognize is that reaching out not only benefits them, but also provides upliftment to the person on the receiving end. Human beings are intrinsically wired for connection. Loneliness not only has the potential to diminish life, but also denies the soul its most fundamental need, belonging. Even seemingly small acts of engagement can initiate profound positive changes. Consider joining a local group that aligns with your interests, attending community events, or volunteering for a cause that resonates with your values. Reach out to an old friend with whom you have lost touch. Invite your grandchildren for a meal. Each of these moments holds the potential to mend something deep within the human spirit. And for those who express, "I'm too old to start over," I would gently remind them that connection is not about initiating a new beginning, but rather about the continuous act of living and participating. It is about allowing life to flow through you once more, facilitated by laughter, empathy, and genuine conversation. Isolation stands as the primary thief of years because it insidiously fosters the belief that one's life has lost its significance. However, you still possess purpose, and every shared moment, every exchanged word, every smile, or every thoughtful gesture serves to extend that purpose for a longer duration. If you are still with us and finding these insights beneficial, please comment the number 4 below to acknowledge your engagement. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I highly recommend it, along with enabling the notification bell so you are always informed of our new video releases. Your support is invaluable in our mission to create impactful content that educates and inspires. Now, let us move towards our concluding thoughts. As we bring this discussion to a close, take a moment to reflect on how these 4 habits, each so seemingly ordinary and deeply familiar, possess the quiet power to significantly shorten the precious years we have left. Aging itself is not the adversary, it is neglect, both of self and of essential practices, that proves to be the true diminisher of life. What ultimately steals vitality from most seniors is not a single catastrophic event, but rather a cumulative effect of 1,000 minor choices that, at the time, appear entirely harmless. Skipping breakfast deprives your heart and brain of essential energy precisely when they need it most. Living under the shadow of constant stress traps your body in a perpetual state of survival mode, hindering its ability to heal and repair. Staying up late robs your vital organs of the restorative rest they critically depend on to renew and regenerate. And isolation, perhaps the most insidious of all, slowly convinces both your body and your spirit that they no longer belong to the vibrant, living rhythm of the world. The profoundly encouraging news is that none of these detrimental patterns are irreversible. You possess the agency to begin implementing changes tonight. Make a conscious effort to consume something nourishing in the morning. Practice releasing the burdens that do not belong to you. Retire to bed early, not with worry, but with a sense of gratitude. Reach out to another individual, understanding that genuine connection is the most potent medicine for maintaining a youthful heart. Longevity is not merely about accumulating a high number of years. It is about infusing those years with quality, presence, and profound meaning. Every decision you make is, in essence, a conversation with your future self. Therefore, ensure those conversations are characterized by kindness, gentleness, and wisdom. We are immensely grateful for your company today. We genuinely value your input and encourage you to share a comment below detailing one key insight you have gained and how you plan to integrate it into your life. Your perspectives are of great importance to us, so please do not hesitate to share them. Reading your comments provides us with significant motivation and encouragement. If you found this video informative and beneficial, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with others. Your support empowers us to continue producing high-quality content that aims to inform and inspire. Thank you for watching, and we eagerly anticipate your presence in our next video.